All right. Welcome back. If you're joining me on stream, this is Luke's MTG. Recently, a couple minutes ago, we just finished up a Infect 5-win streak in Modern. And now we're kind of high off of that, so we're going to draft some Core Set 2020 on Magic Arena. Let me just make sure that we've got the gold here. Yep, we've got 5,000 gold. So let's make sure that we're recording. Don't want to lose this sweet footage, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so anytime I draft, I always get really excited to see what our rare is, and of course we have a complete unplayable card here in Leyline of Combustion. None of the ley lines are playable, so we can just skip over that. So what are some of the things that stand out to me right away? The things that I'm looking at are going to be Corpse Knight and Shock. Shock is just a good, efficient removal spell. Corpse Knight, a pretty fair body. Thankfully there's no confusion on Magic Arena about the Corpse Knight. For those of you who know, some of the Corpse Knights were printed in paper as a 2-2, some of them printed as a 2-3. So, in Wizard of the Coast Infinite Wisdom, they had to come out and explain that it was in fact a 2-2, even though all of my copies say 2-3. So, a little disappointed in that, but, we all make issues. Okay, so, those are really the only cards that seem really powerful. I'd rather not start off with a 2-color combination card. I'd rather go with just a good old-fashioned Shock. Well, that being said, it isn't uncommon. We could pick up more Shocks, but, it's hard for me to pass up on something that's so similar to Lightning Bolt. Alright, so what do we have next? We've got a couple uncommons in the pack. We've got Overgrowth Elemental, just a 3-2. It can grow other creatures, which are elementals, and this can also grow as well if it has elementals, and just regain us some life. It's also Moldervine Reclamation. The green-black decks are not too bad in this format. I haven't had a lot of luck with them. But, this can be a great grindy card. Another thing that we have here is going to be this Boreal Elemental. I do like the blue-red decks, and, the Flyers deck is pretty decent. This is also just a pretty good bomb. 5 mana, 3/4 that can fly, that's difficult to remove. I'm pretty up for that. So, again, going to pass on the multicolored card and pick the card that seems most likely to work with this Shock. Okay, so, not really a big fan of anything in this pack, aside from the blue cards. Marauder's Axe can be pretty good if you have a bunch of cheap flyers. However, Sage's Row Denizen is a great win condition in blue. Every time you get a blue creature on the battlefield, you get to mill them for 2. And as much as I criticize mill in every other format, if you've got a draft deck and you have a way to get rid of 2 of your opponent's cards every turn, eventually they're going to run out of cards. These games, especially in Core Set 2020, go pretty long. That being said, this is something that requires less of a commitment to blue and creatures. That's just a removal spell. Obviously, it doesn't flat out kill them, but if they have an activated ability, that could still present a bit of an issue for you, but I like Sleep Paralysis. I think it's great in this format. So what else do we have here? We have got Unchained Berserker, which is a great aggressive card. We've also got Befuddle, which works okay. Zephyr's Charge is fine. I like Goblin Smuggler in the aggressive red decks. It's just a good way to help push through that last little bit of damage, and he has haste himself. But I think I'm going to take Convolute here. We're looking to be more of a control style deck. I do like Unchained Berserker, but it doesn't work that well with Boreal Elemental or Sleep Paralysis. It's a little more synergistic with Shock. Last time I drafted blue-red, I made the mistake of having a half control, half aggro deck, and it just worked out really poorly. So I think we're going to go for more of a controlling route with the Convolute. Negate is not too bad. Destructive Digger is actually a card that I like to see in these control decks. You tend to draw a lot more cards and have some extra lands. It's also just a 3-2. I like it a little bit better than Moat Piranha because it can attack, but this can also draw you cards in the late game when you want to turn those lands into other cards. So we're going to take the Destructive Digger. Okay. So what do we have? We have got Salvager of Ruin. Not a big fan of this card. It's a good way to get back some creatures if they die, but you know, you're also just kind of putting out a weak creature for the mana cost. I mean, the rate on this creature is not good. 2 for 3 kind of sucks, and you know, it's difficult to set up. So what else do we have? We've got some white cards in Dawning Angel, and that actually is a pretty powerful control card. You know, it gains you a ton of life. It's also a good threat. There's also Dagger Sail Aeronaut. We're not too committed into red. I don't like Negate too much, and nor do I like Zephyr Charge, especially when I have flyers. So I think I'm going to end up taking the Dawning Angel, in case we end up in blue. You know, we're still only a couple cards in here. Let's see, Bone to Ash is just right what I'm going for here. You know, more counter magic. Also draws you a card. Okay, what else do we have? Not really much that's great. I think what I'll end up doing is going with the Anvil Rot Raptor here. You know, it's a 2/1 for 4 is not great, but it does have flying and first strike. You know, it'll trade with something like a Dawning Angel, you know, any of the other 2 or lower toughness flyers, and it's color neutral right now. Goblin Grabber, if I was, or excuse me, Bird Grabber, if I was going for a more aggressive deck, I'd probably pick that, but I'm going to take the Raptor here. Don't really want to go for another Raptor. Zephyr Charge isn't great. I guess I was going to say Colossus Hammer would be great on a flyer, but it does lose flying, and we don't have any trample. I guess I'll just take another Raptor. And we're kind of getting into the territory where, you know, we're in pick 10, we're not taking much else. This Retributive Wand at least does something. You know, if we had taken, where is it, the Destructive Digger, like, we can deal 5 damage with that, so for that reason I'm going to take it. Ooh, that's nice. Sage's Rhodenoson, we're definitely going to take that. We don't really care about anything here. Let's just take the Zephyr Charge because it's in our colors. Yeah, again, we don't really care about much of this stuff. And we get a Heart Piercer Bow. That's actually kind of nice on a flyer. You can pick off little guys, all kinds of cool stuff. Oh, nice. So, we have got a mythic rare. So we've got Ajani. Gain life equal number of creatures you control plus number of planeswalkers, so not awesome. But we can make Ajani's Pridemaids. I think it's a mistake not to take planeswalkers in draft. Spectral Sailor is pretty good, you know, but this Ajani can just make multiple tokens. It can just plus up, plus down. You know, we've got some counter spells to protect it, as well as some removal spells. Let's just take it.
I am Ajani Goldmane, and I will be your friend.
Alright, what else do we have? Ooh, Masterful Replication. This one's really good. You know, obviously this one, if you have a big artifact guy, then you can just make a whole bunch of artifacts turn into it. Like, that usually never happens, but I like that it's an instant speed 6/6 split up between 2 bodies, so you can, you know, trade with 2 creatures, and because it's instant speed, it's going to play better with our counter spells. Bone Dash is good, but this is just a more powerful card overall. Risen Reef is great, but I don't think we're going to go that route. Let's just go ahead and take this Replication. Oh boy, Scholar of the Ages. We're just like getting fed blue control stuff left and right. So it's basically like a double Archaeomancer. So 7 mana is a lot for a 3/3, but we get 2 instants and sorceries from our graveyard. So with a Masterful Replication, for example, I mean, you can just make a ton of guys. We can get back extra counter spells, you know, get back removal spells. Don't see anything else that I really want here, so I'm going to go for that. Okay, what else do we have here? I think I like the Fairy Miscreant. It's just a cheap card, and if we have enough of them, then we get to draw some cards. This does have protection from red, so that could be important, but this also costs half as much, and I'm not counting on our opponents to have red. That being said, like, maybe that effect is more important than trying to make the Fairy Miscreants work. Yeah, let's take the trade. Okay, what else do we have? We've got Ripscale Predator as, excuse me, more of a late game threat. However, if we go with the Dawning Angel and the Ajani, we're going to end up playing white. Raise the Alarm is fine. Diviner's Lockbox, you know, that's probably just not going to happen. I mean, we can always name a basic land, but, you know, 5 mana to draw 3 cards, you know, it's not going to happen a lot. We have to use it as a sorcery as well. I'm just going to take, do we want more flying threats? That's the question. Raise the Alarm is pretty good with Ajani, and it also can provide some blockers as well as some, some pressure in the early game. Can help us survive. Yeah, I don't think we need more 5-drops. Let's get some early plays going. Ooh, Tomebound Lich. I like that one a lot. Let's see. But, you know, it's off color for us right now. That being said, like, perhaps we could splash a little bit of black for it. There is a Dismal Backwater. This is pick 6, so, you know, we could see it back. Anticipate is just great, however. I think the Anticipate's a little bit safer. Tough call. We could always pick up more Anticipates. I think I'll take the Tomebound Lich. Ooh, Winged Words. That's great. So that works really well with all of our flyers, and it's also a way to draw some cards. Let's take that. Okay. Now let's think. Do we want more Raise the Alarms? Let's choose this so we can have a much better look at what's going on here. So Tranquil Cove, that can gain us some life as well as fix our mana. However, Unsummon can work as a pretty good tempo play, especially if we have several counter spells, but, you know, we don't really want to 2-for-1 ourselves. So I think I'll take the Raise the Alarm here. Alright. We do have quite a few flyers now. So I think I'll probably end up taking the Marauder's Axe. Bone to Ash is a little expensive, and we already have 2 counter spells, so I think the Marauder's Axe will be nice. And let's just take the Bone to Ash. We may end up playing it. Let's see. Doesn't really matter. We'll take the Raptor. Take a Fairy Miscreant just as a cheap flyer. If we end up in red, we might want the Predator. Ooh, Anticipate came back. Wow, that's pretty lucky. Unfortunately, the Dismal Backwater did not come back. Okay, so what do we have here? We've got Warden of Evos Isles. So 3 mana 2/2 flyer. Makes our other flyers cheaper. That's not too bad. Let's see. Chandra Spitfire is pretty nice. There is another Dawning Angel, but we already have, you know, some expensive things to do. This can also allow us to play turn 4 Boreal Elemental or Dawning Angel, which I kind of like. Also, you know, gets better with Winged Word, and, you know, 2-power flyer is better than a 1-power flyer. We don't really care about Fortress Crab. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take the Warden. Ooh, Sorin. That's pretty good. Is there anything else that we want in this pack? I don't think there is, and for that reason, I'm just going to take the Sorin. And I'm going to do that because if we end up splashing a little bit of black, you know, Death Touch and Lifelink is really nice. Not only that, but, you know, it'd be nice to have for standard, and you do get to keep these cards. So look at that. We're going to rare draft online.
An ancient vampire lord. Foolish.
Okay, so what are we thinking about here? We've already got plenty of flyers. I don't think that that's quite what we want to do. Octoprofit is fine, but we do have lots of 4-drops already. That being said, you know, we're probably not going to play the ones that we have, so let's just take the Octoprofit. Being able to scry is nice, especially scry 2 on a 3/3. Alright, Blood for Bones. That's a pretty good one. We can sacrifice something like Raise the Alarm, you know, one of those tokens, and we get 2 cards back. Yep, we've also got another Winged Words if we want to draw some cards. Let's see. Let's think about this for a bit. How likely are we to dump the white at this point? Probably not all that likely. And we kind of rely on this Scoured Barrens. I think we're just going to take this Scoured Barrens. Just because it's going to help us play our black cards a little more easily, as well as the white ones. Okay. What else are we looking at? So, Zephyr Charge, just do not want it. 3 Bone to Ashes is a little extreme. You know, it's possible that we end up just splashing white instead. However, I kind of doubt it. We probably will play the Dawning Angel. We probably will play Ajani. And if we play Ajani, we're more likely to want the Raise the Alarm. So let's think for a little bit here. I don't really want anything in this pack too much. I might just take another Bone to Ash. Let's see, we've got 3 Bone to Ashes, so we're not taking a 4th one, and I think we'll take this Anticipate. We're just looking to shape our hand as best we can, and perhaps now we're going to want more ways to win in the late game, because we have, you know, a bunch of Anticipates and counter spells. So I think for that reason, we're probably going to take this Dawning Angel. Ooh. Reduced to Ashes is kind of nice. So now do we want to pivot back into red? The Swiftwater Cliffs would be great if that's what we plan to do. So you're probably not going to play the Yoked Ox. Probably not going to play the Octo Prophet. Do I want the Swiftwater Cliffs in case I want to play this Shock? I don't think we have a 4-color mana base. We're just a little too late into it. So we have 2 black cards, Sorin and Tomebound Lich. And we have potentially 3 red cards with Reduced to Ashes, Destructive Digger, and Shock. You know, are we really going to splash for Shock? Probably not. In which case, I would rather have Sorin, which can obviously turn our Raise the Alarm token into something good. What's that? That is true. We do have a Barony Vampire. I don't think I want the Unholy Indenture. Fathom Fleet Cutthroat can be a good way to remove some creatures with the Raise the Alarm tokens, as well as, you know, like any damage that's been taken from a Fairy Miscreant. I think I might take the Fathom Fleet Cutthroat. We are a little light on removal. What are we looking at here? Probably not going to play the Fortress Crab, or the Bone Splinters might not be bad. Because we can sacrifice a guy from a Raise the Alarm. Yeah, let's do the Bone Splinters. No, I don't like any of this. I'm not even going to consider it. Oh, Sorcerer of the Fang is a good late game payoff. Let's take that. I don't really want to gain the life with the Soulmender. Let's take another Cutthroat. I mean, at this point, we've just kind of got to iron out our deck. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take out everything that is not in the Esper color combination. Marauder's Axe will probably end up playing. Glaring Aegis we probably will not end up playing. Zephyr Charge we will not play. Let's take out the Heartpiercer Bows for now. We're not going to play the Mind Rots. Okay. The Retributive Wand is not as good now. We can dump that. We're never playing multiple copies of the Anvil Rot Raptor. Inspiring Captain's just not that great. Maybe we can just cut the Anvil Rot Raptors altogether. I mean, we're probably going to want to hold up Bone to Ash on turn 4 for the majority of the time. We have several other flyers. Yeah, let's go ahead and dump the Anvil Rot Raptors. We can do better. Okay, so now we have to think, you know, are we going to... We have no double black, but we have double white. And we have white earlier on. So we have to think here. Are we going to splash Sorcerer of the Fang? Probably not. Let's go ahead and cut that. Let's see. How many removal spells do we have? It looks like we just have... we're probably not going to be able to use... yeah, we're not going to use Sorin's. No vampires to sacrifice, but him being able to give lifelink and death touch to something every turn is going to be helpful. Exactly. So this is just going to plus every turn, which is going to help us tremendously gain some life back. So let's see, Fathom, Fleet, Cutthroat. Are we more likely to use the Bone Splinters or the Fathom Fleet? I think we're less likely to use the Bone Splinters. Okay. So we want the cheap flyers to put our Marauder's Axe on so we can close out the game a little bit earlier. Let's see, I like Tonebound Lich a lot. You know, it can trade for something. Let's see, we do have a ton of 4-drops, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 4-drops. That's a lot, but we do have lots of early game plays. Do we still want Ajani? I think we do. He can just make a guy every turn. You know, with Sorin we can gain some life. Tonebound Lich we can gain some life. We're going to gain some life with the Angel, so potentially the tokens can get big, and if we gain enough, we can exile everything they have, which is pretty good. So we got 2 more cards to cut. Do we really want the Fathom Fleet Cutthroat? I don't know. Let's see, how many blue creatures do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like the Sage's Road Denizen is not going to be too great. Let's see, so then we have 1, 2, 3 black cards. I think we're actually just going to win by attacking here. So I think the Fathom Fleet Cutthroat is pretty good. However, if that's the case, then you know we're kind of having difficulty balancing aggro and control, which we kind of discussed earlier. Let's think here. I think I'm going to remove the Fathom Fleet Cutthroat. Oops, let's go back here. Let's get our land situation figured out. Alright. So we got 2 mythic rares. Let's rename our deck here. So we have Esper Bad. So we have 6 white sources. We have a very low representation when it comes to white. So maybe 5 white sources is good enough. Then again, we do have 8 blue sources. Let's see. Very small amount of black. So maybe we can go down to 3. Yeah, most of our stuff is going to be blue, so we really want to make sure we're hitting those. Yeah, this seems okay. I'd probably give this a 6 out of 10. Alright, let's go ahead and play this bad boy. I mean, we have, you know, 2 mythic rares, so how badly could we lose? Hopefully we can do better than my last recorded league. We went 0-3 pretty decidedly. So we get an early raise the alarm. We got Winged Words. I'm going to play the plains first. Actually, I'm going to play the island first. Our opponent mulligans, which is helpful to us. My mulligan strategy is if you have castable spells at some point and you have lands, it's probably worth keeping. You just really do not want to mulligan, especially on the play when you're playing any kind of limited format. Ooh, Scoured Barrens. Let's just play that now. So if our opponent plays a... Ooh, Tomebound Lich. So what do we want to do here? I think we want to raise the alarm. And then we can start plussing with Sorin next turn if we don't draw land, or if we draw land we can, you know, use Ajani. So I think we're just going to go ahead and pass here. Tomebound Lich, I mean, we really don't want to discard anything that we have right now. Maybe we'll get lucky and our opponent will just pass. Bloodthirsty Aerialist. That's a little unfortunate. However, what do we get here? So we're going to go ahead and go with our Sorin plan.
Depart, Innistrad, immediately, or you will taste mine. This is but a taste of
So
my
we're going to go ahead
power.
and attack and gain some life. If our opponent wants to block it, that's fine. But Sorin's going to be a good way for us to help push through some attacks. And he's also going to soak up some damage, I would imagine. I bet you they go for the Sorin attack. If they don't have a in life, the Aerialist isn't too
That was the
bad.
act of a coward.
It's going to take them quite a bit to kill this Sorin. Okay, so let's go ahead and just keep attacking here.
Blood calls to your soul.
And I think we're going to play the Winged Words because we really need to start making some land drops. Yikes. So we have 27 cards left in our deck and we've drawn 3 lands. Little hurtful. You know, a little hurtful, but what can you do? Sorin's going to help us, you know, gain some life in the interim between not only the lifelink, but, you know, our opponent wanting to attack him.
That will
And, of
cost
course, our
you
opponent's not
dearly.
really doing much themselves. Oh, boy. Yeah, we just cannot draw anything. So what do we want to do here? I think we'll play the Tomebound Lich. I think this ship has already kind of sailed when it comes to the Bone to Ash. And we can always get it back with Scholar of the Ages. Is Tomebound Lich? He is not a vampire.
I bestow a mighty curse.
So I think we're just going to take the hit from this Silverback Shaman. Our plan is going to be to attack with the Tomebound Lich to help us see an additional card. You know, all things considered, we've got 7 cards, we've got a Planeswalker, we got more creatures than our opponent. You know, we're just missing some land drops, and I think we're going to be just fine by the, you know, when we get there. Do I let this Sorin go? I think I will. There's no blocks that's going to protect him, and I'd
This
rather
wasn't my fight anyway.
use the Tomebound Lich to try to get the land I need to sleep paralysis away the Silverback Shaman. You know, and it's not going to die because of the sleep paralysis, so they won't get their card. Alright, opponent, what you got for us? That's pretty good. Maybe we'll put the sleep paralysis on that. I think we will. I think that's what we're going to do, because that's going to be a little more difficult for us to try to contend with. And we're not going to attack here. I'd rather use this Tomebound Lich to trade off with the Shaman. Let's think. What are we worried about here? Yeah, unfortunately that Jungle Hollow not doing many favors to that aerialist right now. I don't think that they're going to be giving first strike to anything, so here... Although, do we care much about the life? I think I'll keep the Tomebound Lich, but trade off the soldiers. Well... Although the soldiers can gain me a lot of life, I think I'll just trade off with the wolf. I think I'd like to play Ajani. Yeah, let me go ahead and play Ajani.
I seek a path to peace.
Let's go ahead and make a pride mate.
True friends always stand by your side.
Let's see. Do we want to attack? I think we do. Yeah, if they block, then it's a good trade. We just got to get some more lands here. I mean, that's really all there is to it. You know, we'll get a 3/3 here. They'll probably attack the Ajani. You know, we're going to make this a 3/3. Wow, okay. Man, we just cannot draw anything. The Cerulean Drake is not really doing anything at this point. Although it is a creature, just a block. Let's see. Scholar of the Ages might not be what we want to do, but I think we want the late game power. Warden doesn't seem real great. Let's just dump the Drake. I think I intend on playing the Octoprophet. It'd be really great if we got to make another Pride Mate, but I would imagine that that's not going to happen for us. I'd like to get this to be a decent size so we can start blocking these big 5-power guys. And I think I'm just going to let that Ajani go and be thankful that I'm not losing much life. You know, he's going to die either way, and I don't want to lose my 3.
We can come back from this.
That's the spirit of Johnny. We can come back from this. Diamond Knight. You think they need him black or green? I bet they need black. Oh, green. Oh boy. So we're going to play this Dawning Angel here to make this a 4/4. And I think we're going to attack here. We're just gaining more life than our opponent. And I think that we can outrace them, considering the fact that we have an additional Dawning Angel. Nice. So this becomes a 5/5, and we get to loot. You know, at any point, if this war chief becomes too big, we can just trade with the Lich. Boreal Elemental. Can't even cast the Bone Dash. Let's get rid of that. We can always get it back with the Scholar. Let's see, what do we have so far? We've got Raise the Alarm, Winged Words, Bone to Ash, and Bone to Ash. Perhaps we have too many Bone to Ashes and we need to... When I was cutting the Fathom Fleet Cutthroats and the... what is it, Bone Splinters? Let's see, they are going to deal 11, take me to 14, I'll go up to 18 next turn. Yeah, that's fine. Probably play another Dawning Angel. Now we have a 6/6 that can block the Silverback pretty well. I think I'm going to choose not to... I'm going to choose not to attack here so I don't pump the Vengeful Warchief. I'd rather trade the Tome-Bound Lich with the Warchief at this point. You know, our opponent was only going to take 4, and then I'd rather not leave all this untapped. So I think this sets us up for much better attacks. Maybe we'll use this to anticipate to finally get a blue source. Let's think. We're probably going to make some revisions to this deck. I think we're going to move it from 3 Boned Ashes to either a Fathom Fleet Cutthroat or a Bone Splinters. Probably Bone Splinters, it's just cheaper. I'm wondering if they don't have a combat trick. Wow. So, pretty bad attack on our opponent's behalf. I'd be interested to know why they made that choice. I think we're probably going to anticipate into Octoprofit, hopefully. Oh, buddy. Okay. That's going to be a tough one. They finally get to sacrifice their Aerialist, which has been doing nothing. If only we had picked some of those unsummons. Those are pretty good against our opponent's guy. I mean, we do also have a very large Ajani Primate that they can't really deal with. Ooh. Let's try to get our land. Give me that island. Now we get to play the axe. We get to equip it to one of these angels. And our opponent has to block the 5/2. So they're going to lose their Diamond Knight. And they choose not to block the Dawning Angel. I wonder why. That's a pretty strange decision there. And now they can't pay life to make another one of their demons. So, perhaps our opponent just accidentally skipped over their blocks. Okay. So Hero of the Glade, pretty good. They're going to get to gain some life. They can sacrifice it and make it another guy. Fortunately, we can't get back to sleep paralysis with this Scholar. Pulse Marasa, pretty good card there. I imagine they plan on getting rid of the healer, which will put them down to 8. In which case, hopefully I can find a way to gain some life and maybe make the Pride Mate trade-off. Although if they do that, then they just have to chump with a 5/2. So now they're down to 8. So if they double block, they die. If they block here, they go to 3, and then I get both my guys. So let's go ahead and attack with everything. Let them figure it out. I think we can just plan on overwhelming our opponent. If I were them, I'd block here, block here. Another Pulse of Marasa. That's pretty ridiculous. Are they just going to take it? No way. Yeah, I wouldn't have blocked that way. I'd probably double block the Ajani's Proudmate. Okay, now they go to 7, so... play the Warden. Now we play the Boreal Elemental. And next turn we can equip to the Boreal Elemental to make it trade for a Demon. They go to... Man, if only I had some decent removal spells. I definitely need to take out at least one Bone to Ash. A Bone Splinters would have been a really helpful thing here. Yeah, I think we're just... wonder how many Pulse of Marasas they have. It is an uncommon. So, what are we thinking? I think we're going to equip the Boreal Elemental with the Axe. Soul Salvage? Good lord, dude. Yeah, that thing's just got all of it. I think we're going to equip to the Elemental. Do we hold up Convolute? No, because they'll be able to pay. Man, they just... how much life have they gained? It's like their third Healer of the Blade. Gained 12 off the Pulse. This Blood-Soaked Altar is great. I will take that just about as soon as I possibly can whenever I'm playing Corset 2020. So they're going to lose both their guys. I'd rather kill the demon. Let's play our Octodropper. Let's try to drop the demon to help us here. Island, probably not going to help. Fairy Miscreant, probably not going to help. Maybe we can take out a Fairy Miscreant since we only have one. I'm thinking we trim a Bone to Ash and... Man, our opponent's just got as many life gain effects as you could possibly imagine. Let's see, there's 12 life. I think they've gained 21 life this game. So the Healer of the Glade, Pulse of Marasa. That's 9. Then... Pulse of Marasa, Healer of the Glade. 18. And Healer of the Glade again. It's pretty intense. But eventually they're going to run out of cards to... They're going to run out of things to sacrifice. Let's see, let's make sure that we're tapping this properly. I'm happy just to trade here. If they have a creature spell that they want to use, we can Bone to Ash it, which will give us a good... I'm happy to get rid of that. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they have a large non-creature spell, we can counter it. If they have a creature spell, we can counter it. And there we go. So they are going to do what? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do we want? Maybe raise the alarm. And what else? What do we care about? A Bone to Ash, perhaps? Raise the Alarm is just going to help us. And we might want the Winged Words, just to draw some extra cards. Let's go for that. It's going to suck if our opponent has a spell that they can cast. I hope it's a land. That's pretty helpful. So we're definitely going to attack with the smaller Rages. And I think we're going to... Let's see, we want the 2 land, or island. I can't even speak. We want the 2 plains. So let's go ahead and just use this Winged Words now. If they want to block the Warden, that's okay. They're going to go to 4. In which case we can get the last 4 power down with the Raise the Alarm. They need a creature. In which case, if the creature's large enough, I'm gonna cost. Oh boy. Let's see, we're gonna convolute that. We do not want them to kill our guy. I think we're going to go ahead and raise the alarm. I think we're finding all of our islands. Let's just attack with everything. Let's put our axe on one of the critters, and we'll end our turn. Let's see what they've got. Loaming Shaman, probably not going to get that. Come on, opponent. Just shuffle your entire graveyard back. We all know it's what you want to do. Everything but the lands is what you want. Then we have another Raise the Alarm. That's fine. They have a way to gain life. That would be super frustrating. Like another Pulse of Marasa, that would be extremely annoying. But we're going to get to Raise the Alarm. Ooh. There we go. So we took it down. Sweet. Wow. 2,000 gold, 1,750 XP, a pack, and a mastery tree. Sweet. Alright, let's go ahead and fix this deck real quick. We need to take out a Bone to Ash for a Bone Splinters. I think we've still got the correct distribution for our colors here. Do we want the Fairy Miscreant? I think we do. We have a lot of flyers, so that's probably not going to be super great. Alright, let's go ahead and get on to this next game here. So, Esper Flying Planeswalker Control versus Green-Black Pulse of Marasa. Cool. We get a Fairy Miscreant, and hopefully we can get down an early Marauder's Axe. Vampire of the Dire Moon. Okay. So we're going to get down a Fairy Miscreant. And our plan is just going to be to hack away at our opponent. But eventually we can get down Sorin. Wow, they didn't even attack. Alright. I'm certainly going to attack here. I gotta get his... Although they do have lifelink. That's going to be kind of frustrating. Wow, we got Sultai, Vampire, lifelink. Ooh, Audacious Thief, that's a good one. I think we're going to equip this here so that we can trade off. We're going to trade off with the Audacious Thief. Hopefully we don't run into the issue like we did last game where we just never draw our lands until late into the game. It is going to suck that they get to draw a card off this Audacious Thief, but we need to trade away with it. And trading a Fairy Miscreant and a couple mana for Audacious Thief seems fine to me. Yeah, we're going to trade this right away. Hopefully we draw a land so we can Octoprofit. We do not. That's pretty stinky. But, you know, we basically have a removal spell here. If they have something we want to counter, we'll counter it. You know, if not, we'll just... Possible that we want to leave up the Marauder's Axe in case we don't have anything else to do, so we can equip the Marauder's Axe to the Soldier and then trade again. You know what? They can get extra guys off of that. Yeah, let's go with that plan of equipping the Marauder's Axe. Alright. So, we did not really get what we needed. Don't really want to trade off a creature. I'm happy to trade off an axe, though. Trade with the lifelink guy. Guess our opponent didn't do anything last turn. Yep. That's why we don't do that. Let's get down this Octoprofit. I definitely want the land. The Tomebound Lich can gain us some life later, but I want the life from this Dawning Angel. We're getting pretty low here. Hopefully they just don't have a way to kill us. Oh my god. Yeah, Undead Servant's pretty good when you got 3 of them. Alright. Yikes. That sucks. Yep, you got it, opponent. Well done. So we got pretty stuck on land and our opponent just, you know, had a good curve out. They had a pretty good deck. Not much to say about it. Let's get back into it. Dust yourself off and back into the fight, as it were. Maybe I played it a little too loose with my life total. You know, that's possible. Yep, this hand works just fine. Probably going to anticipate and look to advance our mana base. Play the plains first, you know, just because we got a double white card here. And we don't know what we want yet. So, I'm going to wait on the anticipate. I'm probably just going to go for a land. Ooh, green-white. Usually, Flyers is pretty good against the green-white. And I want the plains. Let's go ahead and get down this Marauding Axe. May as well spend the mana. And if they play a creature, I'm not really too afraid of that. Do we want to play the Octoprophet? I think we play the Octoprophet so we can continue to hit our land drops. And we already have a 5-drop. I don't think we want the Bone Splinters yet. So, good thing we had that, otherwise we'd be missing out on land drops for quite a while. We're definitely not going to trade the Octoprophet, though. If they play a good creature like that, we'll Sleep Paralysis. If they just want to use that as a blocker, that's fine. I have Flyers. Actually, if we draw a land, I think we'll play Boreal Elemental. I just want to get the threat down right away. Okay, so we're going to Sleep Paralysis instead. Is it worth it to trade away? No, it's not. Given the amount of Flyers we have, it's not worth it to me. I mean, we're going to have a 5-power Flyer here, and not too long. Holy crap. Okay. That's a problem. Now they have a 7-power guy. Okay, well, I didn't anticipate Cavalier of Thorns. Let's just trade this off here. What am I thinking? No, we're not going to do that. I think I'm happiest to trade off the Dawning Angel. Oh, you know what? I should have played the Boreal Elemental so he could only... crap. So that he could only kill one of them. How do we want to deal with that? Oh, it's an elemental, so it gets trample. So does this. That's no good. I think we're going to try to get Bone Splinters here. Although that is all the way at the bottom. Man, we're just getting the crap beaten out of us. We can't race him. Next turn he can attack for 13. That puts us at 5. We can put him at 13. We're not in... We just have to go for it. We can't even attack with the Octoprophet. That's a tough one, man. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna win this one. Oh man. Okay. So, we're gonna take 8, go down to 13. Or, I mean, take a total of 13. Yeah, I don't think we can win this. Let's see what we got. Tomebound Lich. All this stuff has trample, though. Yeah, they got us. Well done, opponent. And here I, thought we had a good matchup. That was definitely incorrect. And we're facing off against Gondor. That'll be a tough enemy to defeat. Hopefully we can be on the draw. Get an extra card out of this. Sweet. Oh my god. And we even get to play Scoured Barons? On turn 1. Got cheap plays that are actually pretty good. Raise the Alarm's good against that. Got 2 different plays we can make. And we have a good 3-drop. Just feel so blessed right now. Play the island so that we can possibly play the Anticipate if we want to. I think the way we're going to sequence this is raise the alarm into Tomebound Lich. Tomebound Lich being able to trade off with the Ember Cat. One of the raise the alarm tokens. Oh, yikes. Okay. I'm still going to trade off with the Sedge Scorpion because the Tomebound Lich is going to help us out here. Alright. I think we're going to discard the Cerulean Drake if we get a land. That's a good card. I'm happy to trade off. Oh, come on. Okay, let's try to get a land here. There is a land. Alright, and with that land, we'll play our Marauding Axe. We will not attack. Let's think about what we want to do. I think we'll play the Ajani next turn. Yeah. Probably play the Ajani and make a Pride Mate.
Fighting tooth and claw is what it takes.
This will allow us to protect the Ajani and trade off with a Leafkin Druid. As well as make the subsequent... what the hell? So our opponent's 4-color what exactly? So they can put the Ajani. Let's think here. I think I want the token to kill something. You know what? That's totally fine.
I hope we meet again soon.
Let's see. Ooh, you know what? I could always Bone to Ash. There's a sorcery. I think I'll kill that Knight of the Ebon Legion. Hold up Bone to Ash. It's nice to sacrifice a token there. So we got rid of their Sedge Scorpion and their Knight of the Ebon Legion for Bone Splinters and what was the other one? Raise the Alarm. That's fine. We'll gain some life back here. Hopefully they'll play a creature that we can counter and draw on. No, we cannot. Okay. No, maybe they'll have another creature. They will not. Let's see. I think the Masterful Replication is going to work out better for us. Because that's going to end up as a 6/6. We can trade for that. He has to spend all of his mana to do so. Okay. Alright, opponent, what do you got? You can only activate it once. You only got one red mana. Ooh, nice. Alright. Now we're in a good spot. Now I get to put the Marauder's Axe on there. Sure. Got great attacks. We can counter a creature spell, you know, or we can just put down a Raise the Alarm and trade off with their Greenwood Sentinel. I like our opponent's use of emotes. Okay, there we go. So how are we doing so far? I think we're 2-2. Okay, so we got to win 5 in a row here. Well, I guess it'll be 6 in a row total. So got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more wins to try to achieve. So let's do our best here. I like the deck. I think it works pretty well. You know, maybe I got a little ambitious with the mana base, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's a game. And I thought it would be more fun to play what we have here. You know, and who doesn't want to have 2 mythic planeswalkers in their deck? You know it, is our opponent. And it looks like they're slightly above us when it comes to the rank. Cool. This is like a really nice control curve here. We get to play a tapped land that fixes our colors. Ooh, we even have some flexibility. We can either draw or, you know, put some pressure or some defense down. Wow, we've actually got both the Raise the Alarms. Wouldn't that be so great if we had Ajani? Audacious Thief. Let's see. I think we're going to put down the Raise the Alarm in case we draw a 3-mana spell that we really want to use. And I think we'll play the Winged Words here. I just want to make sure we're hitting land drops. We're not going to attack. Hopefully we can just trade off. Not great that our opponent's going to get to draw a card. But, you know, what are you going to do? Ooh, that's pretty good. Let's see. So here we get to hold up Anticipate and Raise the Alarm, or Bone to Ash. Maybe they'll play a really good creature here that we can counter. And I think I'm going to take the opportunity here to trade off with this Audacious Thief. It's just going to be really tough for us to beat that in the long game if they're drawing several extra cards. So we'll see what they have. Befuddle. That's pretty good. So they're just getting to draw all kinds of cards. Let's get this angel here. So, gain some life. You know, I'm happy to trade off with the Audacious Thief. Hopefully they don't have another Befuddle. There we go. So our opponent's just getting great value off those Audacious Thieves. Wow. Good lord. Guess what? Give that thing flying all you want. See if they have a removal spell. That would be pretty crappy. My very sincere hope is to draw land. Oh boy. If only we could have countered that. And we tapped wrong. Well, that feels pretty terrible.
Peace, we must fight for a better tomorrow.
Do we want to gain one life?
A pure
No.
soul can inspire others.
Gotta love that auto tapper. Give it flying. Probably kill our Ajani. Man, I really wish that we'd been able to Bone to Ash that. Triple Audacious Thief on the draw is difficult to try to contend with. Wow. Interesting. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We got quite a bit of health. Perhaps I should have held up the Masterful Replication, but who knows. We can at least block with this. Assuming they don't use the Zephyr charge. I think I'd like to keep my Sorin for now. Well, let's make sure to plus him. Even though you can't activate the first ability if you don't have a creature, you can always activate the second, and it's always good for him to get your Planeswalker's loyalty as high as you can. They can always give this flying. That being said, you know, we make him spend some of his mana. We still get to use the Sorin. We're gonna probably play a Marauder's Axe. Ooh, sleep paralysis. So here's what we're going to do. We're immediately going to plus.
Blood calls to your soul.
Let's sleep paralysis that bad boy. Force him to spend his mana. And what's really nice is if he, since he didn't use his Portal Sanctuary, we actually get back, oh, he can't use it then. So this will actually return our sleep paralysis. So we can just pay 4 mana a turn to lock that down, and we get to just hammer away at his life total. Oh man. So he can pay 1. Get back his Feral Abomination. Is there any reason we wouldn't ooh, we're gonna get to counter his guy.
Watch your temper.
So I will counter that Feral Abomination, so that's gonna cost 1, 2, 3, 4.
My bloodline flows
Do we put it on the one that has lifelink? We do. Because it doesn't matter. He's going to block that one, probably regardless. Man, sleep paralysis ended up being really good here since our opponent decided to use... Yeah, okay, that's fine. You know, it hurts our feelings a little bit, but we're going to get to Bone to Ash and get back our Masterful Replication and...
You cannot hurt my hollow soul.
Alright. Hopefully he doesn't have Convolute. There we go. Now we have Convolute. Please don't have Convolute. So we're going to get back. Let's go with Masterful Replication. And probably Winged Words. That's pretty good. So now we have 3 more cards. We've got a Masterful Replication, which is pretty good. We've got a Threat on board. That's pretty good. Ooh, Tomebound Lich.
This is but a taste of my power.
I think we want to hold up the Convolute and the Masterful Replication. Man, what a comeback. Let's see. Let's go ahead and resolve that. Let's get out the Masterful Replication. If they have a counter spell, oh well, that just means that they're not countering our sleep paralysis. Wow, our opponent just didn't want any of it. So, pretty good game there. Alright, let's move on to the next one. So, we're supposed to win 5 in a row to get to 7. There's the first one, so hopefully we can win 4 more in a row. Alright, let's see what we get. Hopefully land and spells. Lands and spells that we can cast with those. It's not the best, but, you know, it's got all of our colors. And we've got some more powerful cards. Something we can do with our early mana, you know. Nice to play the Marauder's Axe when there's nothing else to do. Let's click our little kitty cat here. Hith. I wonder if they fixed the bug that they used to have where if you clicked it over 1,000 times it would just, you know, I believe it gave you a temporary ban. You know, it's kind of like Hearthstone. They make the maps interactive for a reason. You know, it's fun. It gives you something to do while you're waiting on your opponent to make decisions. I like how we're against a diamond ranked player. Or is that platinum? I think it's platinum. Okay, so we need to draw something. He is just going to die, so I don't think there's much point in playing him. Maybe give our opponent something to attack, I guess. Yeah, let's just play him. Like, you know, he's going to have to spend a mana, you know, his only blue mana so far, to kill the Sorin, which really isn't doing much for us right now. Yeah, so he's not going to kill the Sorin. So maybe Sorin's going to gain his 4 life. He is going to gain his 4 life. Not the best use of him, but better than nothing. So what do we want to tap down? Let's tap down the most powerful guy. Man, planeswalkers are something else. Even when they're doing absolutely nothing, your opponent will still attack them. You know, and I'm guilty of exactly the same thing. It's just you want to be able to kill him. You know.
These childish games bore me.
I'm going to be really, really happy to get down this Masterful Replication. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have Convolute. Ooh, they do. Well, better than them convoluting a replication. Yikes. I think what we're going to try to do is trade off for these two. Obviously we can't block that. If they can pump that and give it first strike, that would be pretty bad. But that's going to require most of their mana. Please don't have another counter spell. Cool. So can we get a 2-for-1? I mean, if they have Befuddle, that would really suck. Well, it's not really a 2-for-1. It's more like a 2-for-1.5. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's equip this. If they want to chump block, that's fine. Happy to get the flyer out of the way. Play our Angel, gain some 4 life. I really like this card in draft. You know, it's fairly priced. So here I'm going to attack with both of them. If they want to spend their mana blocking and pumping, that's fine. We're not going to gain life from this. And I'd rather make them spend their blue mana so I can resolve this Ajani. I mean, I'm gonna kill both of these. At least one or both. Let's get our Ajani down. I'd like to make a guy, because then we can plus him, gain some life, make him larger. Hopefully he can't kill the Ajani. Lame. That's okay. If he wants to kill the Ajani, we're just going to keep hammering away at his life total. Okay, give me something good to do with my mana. That is not it. However, we are going to put them down to 8. Okay, what do we got? Give me a really good spell. Tomebound Lich is pretty good. That'll help pump the Ajani. Not only that, but it's just... Although I don't think we want to play it right away, because we're just going to discard whatever we find with it. Did we bottom a land? Oh, that's lame. I should have just left it there so I could get rid of it with the Tomebound Lich. So here I think I need to put... Wow. Maybe our opponent has something difficult for us to try to navigate. Maybe like a Boreal Elemental. Wow. Okay. Well, guess what? Now we get to Tomebound Lich. Oh boy. That's pretty much the best draw we could have found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Play another blue spell. That's going to be pretty good. So let's see what they do. Hopefully we can get something really powerful here. Do we want Raise the Alarm? So that's going to cost her like 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can cast both of them. For that reason, I'm going to dump the Anticipate. We just want to get as much power on the board as we possibly can. Yeah, that's right. We have 8 mana. So that costs 6. That costs... Octoprophet's kind of annoying. Oh man, our opponent's going to deal a lot of damage to us. Oh well, we can just do our best to attack. I think we're going to play this in main phase to play around a convolute. Let's go ahead and attack. Can't really attack with the Scholar. If they want to trade the Octoprophet, I'm okay with that. I don't think that they can counter it. And I believe that if we raise the alarm... Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, we need to raise the alarm. They can spend all of their mana to untap it, or basically give it vigilance. So what do we want to do? We want to raise the alarm, I believe, so that we can attack with everything. Yeah, I think our opponent just wasn't attacking enough. Sweet, we got it. I don't think they were dead. Cool. So there's 3 wins in a row. We just got 3 more to go. Okay. God, I really like drafting. It's just such a rewarding experience. Like the deck building, all the good stuff. We go first. We're gonna mulligan. This is even worse, but we have to keep. Actually, this is the same, but we have anticipate and 1 less land. We'll find our lands that we need. Let's just get the Scour Barons down in case we want to cast something. We still don't know what we're looking for yet with anticipate. See what they play. And they might even, you know, suspect a counter spell. That being said, I don't think you can... That is a little bit annoying. However, we can always anticipate into a land and then sleep paralysis that. Sorin might get the job done. We could always draw a land. Now let's just take the land. I think I'm going to sleep paralysis that spider now. If they have another one, it's going to feel a little crappy, but what are you going to do? Boreal Elemental is going to be a little bit better at attacking. Well, it attacks the same. It'll be harder for our opponent to trade with it because of its higher toughness, and it's harder for them to get rid of. Okay. Ooh, maybe they'll just not play a land and have nothing to cast. Gift to Paradise. Oh, that's kind of like a land. You know, normally I wouldn't spend a removal spell. Well, let's block it. Can he pump it? I'm not remembering the 2-mana pump spells so well. I'm ashamed to admit. We'll gain some life. It'll be alright. And we can just start attacking for 6 every turn in the air. So he's got 6 mana. He can activate the Brightwood Tracker if he wants to. What else could he play? I'm really hoping that we can draw something better to do than just play the Scholar of the Ages. Okay, so they had to spend their entire turn doing that. That's fine. This is fine. This is still a pretty decent attacker. You know, we get back and anticipate. Anticipate can give us plenty of action. You know, we could always get like a Masterful Replication or even like a Winged Words would be fine. And we're just shut down completely. Can we deal with that? I think we need the Sorin, but I'm pretty sure Sorin's at the bottom. Marauder's Axe needs to be present. I'm going to block that. Let's see if he's... Yeah. If he was just BSing us earlier. Okay. Want that Octoprophet. Hopefully we can scry. I think I'll take the Bone to Ash. We really need to get a 2-for-1 if we can. And I think we're just going to board stall our opponent. If we can board stall him, eventually we'll win. Like we'll get a Marauder's Axe eventually and put it on a flyer with 3 power that they'll be forced to trade. So kind of really looking for that Marauder's Axe right now. Let's see, do we know where it is? Okay, what do they reveal? A 7/7. Well, guess what? That 7/7 is going to turn into a pile of ash. Now I'm really glad we have that. Oh, nice. Now they just blow their whole turn. At some point, we're going to get that Marauder's Axe. So what do we know we're not going to draw? We won't have Sorin, we won't have Bone Splinters for a while. This Mammoth Spider just sucks. I mean, it's very good for them, you know, but it sucks for us. Another one. Okay. Well, sad to say we don't have an answer to it. Okay. Yeah, I got no incentive to attack here. Whenever you're locked in a board stall, you just do not want to be the first one to break it. Because you just end up, doing something you regret. So here I'm going to block this with, I'm going to block this with 2 or 3 of the 3/3s. Yeah, it's probably the worst one to get rid of. Like I have good trades here. Our opponent is well aware of that. Sweet, winged words. That's not great. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 7 mana. 8 mana. Hopefully they cast a big spell I can counter. They have a pump spell or something? Murder. I should have thought of that. That's pretty bad. It wouldn't have hurt to blocked with the Scholar of Ages as well. Now I'm just getting punished big time for my poor decision. Oh well, at least we got the Mammoth Spider countered. And at least we got more lands, so... Never hurts to have that. But we're gonna die pretty quickly here. What can we find? Let's see. Cerulean Drake, not great. If only that was red. Well, the trample would still kill us. Are we just dead? Corpse Knight, huh? Okay. Let's see if we can get another creature and organize some kind of decent block. That doesn't really do anything. Let's see. So we can block. Yeah, I think we're just dead. So we can trade with the Vorse Claw, block the Mammoth Spider. Yeah, we're just dead. Oh well. It's okay. Our opponent had a pretty decent deck, and we just kind of folded to it. So well done, opponent. We ended up going 4-3. Got some sick prizes here. Let's go ahead and open up our packs. Hopefully we get something good. Terrible. Alright. What do we got here? Ooh, good card. Love the lands. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for joining me for this Core 2020 ranked draft. I hope you enjoyed our Control Flyer double Planeswalker Esper deck. I think we did okay with it. Just kind of got outmatched in some of them. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and hop off again. It's been Luke's MTG, and you guys have a great night.